Nothing. Nothing. Throw it. Side. Side. There you go. That's it. Tom. Tommy. Tom, pose for us. Tom, pose for us, please. Nice one, Tom.
I was like, yo, back him out a second.
Wasn't quite enough, but it was enough.
That's gonna hurt more. And then if you can get your legs straight right before it, even better, because it's still kind of taekwondo-ing. Yeah, oh, yes. One time still, I get that shit straight right before. Yes. See that? That's good. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna weigh him down. That's good kicks. Those are good kicks. Remember that range. That's the range. Alright, get it. Use this round for a second. Just work on that. Now that you find the range, you want to use it. So we got 30 seconds. Now we just see round kicks. Throw some jabs off them. Jab round kick. 2 jabs and a round kick. Step off. Good. Now step off when you do it, so if you go to the counter with a cross, you miss. A little faster on that kick there. Good. Good. Alright, 10 more seconds to that. Don't think about it. Let's go. Good. Sorry. Alright, now it's in your rest. Take your rest. That's the range you gotta try to remember. That's the kick that's gonna it's gonna wear him down. You know, even if you don't bet his knee in, that shit's gonna weigh him down. If he's not on it tight, even if he's on it tight, a couple of those are gonna work, you know? And if he does this with his foot there, it's really screwed. Work that jab a lot too. Use your jab to hit him with everything. I'm feeling he's going to throw a lot of power hooks, right? So if you stun him with a good jab, you hit him, work. I mean, he throws hooks. So yeah, you need that check hand. He's going to be trying to hook. See that pushback? Throw one of those pushbacks. Hit him with a low kick. You hand check him hard and he kind of pauses for a second, that's a free kick right there. He's pausing because he went behind his base. He's supposed to chop his leg. Bang! You gotta look for some free leg kicks. You can really load up that low kick. Don't force him. Just look for him. Good kicks. You have to step off on some of those kicks. Nothing, you know, don't want to give too much details. It's fucking record ball. He's fucking with him. Just getting Tom ready for his fight, November 19th. We did some running, doing a little running circuit for fighters, you should always do. Did some footwork, some shadow box, a couple rounds in the heavy bag, that's what we're doing now. And then we're gonna do some technical sparring, a little bit of pressure scenario, get him ready. He's fighting in a smaller ring, smaller than last time, so we gotta compensate for that. This makes a good area, as you see. Smaller than that ring, so if you get comfortable running in, it'll be good in the ring.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling? How you feeling?
Feeling good. Feeling good so far.
Am I okay to work out with or annoying to work out with?
50-50.
50-50, that's good. Right? That's pretty
70,
good.
30. It's a good 30 though.
So I don't know, he's cameraman's fucking up our rest time. What do you think about that, Tom?
Yeah, look at that.
Right, we gotta talk during our rest.
Has begun.
Hey, team belief. 4GK.
Gearing up for a little light sparring right now. You know.
How many rounds you guys doing?
Doing 6 rounds.
6 rounds light sparring.
Yeah, 6 rounds light sparring. Just working some concepts and making sure I stop my little flaws I got. I can't tell you those because you know, Mark might try to beat me up out there like he does. He's a bully.
You're a bully?
Who's the bully? I just stepped
bully.
in. I just walked into the conversation.
That's I don't know. It's the word on the street. Somebody said something.
Oh man. Sleeping Giant's a nice guy. That's all I can say in my defense. I don't know what was said, but I'm a teddy bear.
I'm not gonna put the mouthpiece in. So hopefully you don't kick my teeth out. You know.
I'm ashamed to admit I forgot my mouthpiece today. But you know, it's gonna be mostly technical anyway. We can't really go hard here. People get scared. So it's just gonna be technical, but I'm gonna put pressure on him. His fight is in 2 weeks. So I'm gonna put punches and bunches, but should be light touches. If you jump into something, that's on you. But yeah, you know, hopefully he won't need his mouthpiece. Keep your jaw tight. And I do as well because he got a mean shot. And yeah, we're gonna get to it.
I don't like pressure.
Thank you, MMA Bug, for coming through.
I quit.
He quit
Fuck
today.
this
You got it live. That's a good story though. You just quit, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going home.
Hey, it's on camera.
It's not left.
I gotta go eat some pizza.
You better not fucking eat pizza later. I swear to God, I'm gonna smell your breath later. Or I'm gonna tell you, kid, like, yo, I'll give you $5 if you tell me the truth. Did your daddy have some pizza?
Me in the car.
People like that, I gotta split this with you. I lied to him for you.
Don't start the car until I smell it. There's a pizza breathalyzer. I smell grease. Right now, about 2 weeks out from the fight, November 19th. Diet. All the good food I'm missing out on. Cutting this weight. I can't wait till Thanksgiving, right after the fight, so that's my finish line. My diet, I'm trying to stay away from a lot of carbs. 20 to 50 a day, tops, maybe even that. And, you know, just strictly get a lot of protein, a lot of hard work. Bit by bit, just chipping away at the little kinks here and there. You know, becoming a better fighter, less flawed, a lot more power in the striking, a lot less stupid things I used to do, starting to fade away slowly but surely. You know, and my partner over here, we're gonna make it happen. He should. I think he's getting my coffee and a stool. There was supposed to be a stool for this interview. I don't know. But you know, I don't know. You guys got to put a foot in his ass. I guess that's how he is. That's how it is working with him. You guys will know better than me.
Sleeping Giant here. I just came back from fetching him the perfectly temperatured coffee that I split before I brought it to him. But that's part of magic.
That it disappeared.
This guy's a martial artist. We're gonna talk about this for a minute. The guy behind the camera is a martial artist for years, and he just walked onto the mat for shoes. And now he finally got a bad name. That's it. We're the guys that bring the guy who stepped on the mat.
It's a boxing mat. I don't give a shit.
But now, all jokes aside, 2 weeks away from fighting, having a lot of fun training with this guy. We've been friends for a long time, and it's just dope to be working together. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I want to talk about the fight that she had already. When was it again? It was August, right?
20th, yeah.
August 20th, he debuted. It was a great fight. There was things we worked on that I feel came into play during the fight, and it was perfect. So, based on how well that fight went, like, did you expect it to be, like, no disrespect to your opponent, but it was kind of seemed like an easy fight. You know, it turned out to be an easy fight. Do you feel like the things we worked on played a role in that? And what did you think about that? Did you expect that?
Yeah, definitely. It was met up to the expectations. It went past expectations because, you know, the fight just went perfect in my favor. I wouldn't say perfect, but you know, the kid was scrappy. He was definitely came in and charged head first. I had to weather that storm. It was a lot easier because of my rough training, just training, conditioning. So I was able to take those hits. Just wait for that right opportunity. So yeah, the training definitely helped out. The switch muscles kicked in, the countering. Everything was there. Everything was there in the mind.
For those that don't know, this guy, before we linked up, was preparing for this fight by himself. He comes from a school in his past. He's working with our school now a little bit. But technically, like, this guy is himself. You know, he's like a fighter who put himself into the game, who hit up the fight promoter, asked for a fight without having a fight team. So I just wanted to point out because that's pretty cool. That's pretty badass. I don't know if I could take a fight without being encouraged by my team. So what was that like? What made you do that? And 2 weeks before that fight, I stepped in and started helping you. Do you think that 2 weeks played any role in it?
Yeah, the 2 weeks leading up to that definitely played a role with the, especially the technical stuff, the in-ring, the combat mind state. Before that, it was just pure getting in shape, endurance, helping that the muscles don't, it's not overbearing on my body. So I was ready to fight physically. When Jose stepped in, it took me there to the next level mentally. Helped me out with a lot of the techniques and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely played a role.
So how did you mentally feel before I stepped in, and how do you feel after? Like, are you saying that with, you felt like now you had support and things of the sort?
Yeah, the support is always, welcomed. It's always better when you have somebody in your corner, especially somebody that, gives a shit. Not just somebody there, hey, you're doing good, you're doing great, kid, keep punching that bag, that's cool. When you got somebody that really cares and take time out of their day to come help you out, they basically see what you see in yourself. My confidence was there already, but that just builds it back on top of it, keeps stacking it up higher and higher. So it just made me even that more ferocious when I stepped into the ring, because I know I got people behind me now.
Yeah, I'm real grateful for the opportunity I had with you. I've been wanting the corner for a while, and you gave me the opportunity to trust me, to give you some tips, be there, having your back, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. When you won, I felt like we won together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the shit out of that beer, especially the way he won. He scored a flash knockout. I mean, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Flash KO. I mean, it was a deep flash. The guy took a moment to be revived. He was out. And to see that on your first fight, some guys don't even win on their first fight. How does that make you feel now going into your second fight?
It gives me confidence, but you'd be surprised, as the guy who did it, which you would know, you wouldn't be surprised, but somebody from the outside looking in, oh wow, I feel like I could be better. I feel like I just have to reach the next level. It didn't do much for my ego. It's great. I'm not gonna say, hey, I wish it didn't happen. It was ideal. It was ideal to go in the first fight, get a knockout like that. But I don't let it get to my head. I gotta keep working, I gotta keep going hard. If I let it get to my head, I'll be one of these guys, either one and done, or just, the next fight I'll be the one on the floor getting revived. So I just gotta keep it there. Know that I gotta prove to myself it wasn't a fluke. Let's do this again.
Yeah, that was my next question. To get at
I had one too.
The pressure. I'm coming off a flash knockout too, and the guy that I knocked out has been knocked out prior. So sometimes I feel like people, they don't mean to make comments or offend me, but I feel like I want to prove that I can knock people out, not just the guy I knocked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't just a lucky punch. You know what I mean? So I feel that. I'm never gonna in my future fights rush and force that KO.
Yeah.
But I do believe I'm gonna have more KOs in my future. I believe there's more KOs in your future. I work with you and you hit hard. But I'm glad you're not gonna chase that. Chasing it can get us in trouble. But I think together as a team we're gonna fucking do some shit, bro. So November 19th, man, how do you see that playing out?
I can only see it one way with my hand in the air. That's how I really feel. I feel confident in that. I don't see it going any other way. The first fight you got the jitters a little bit. Kind of just always thinking, oh, what if I get knocked out? What if this? What if it doesn't go my way? What if I get embarrassed in front of people? That feeling's always there, and it should be there. It's healthy for you. But this time it's less of that. It's more of I feel confident. I feel confident in my abilities. It's my corner. Everything, my mind state, everything is good going into this fight. I feel great.
Getting better every week. I have a lot of fun training with you because I feel like you learn so fast, so well, and you're so committed to your skill set and your fight IQ. So I mean, the sky's only up from here, which is great. In my situation, they already know by now in the episode I had to pull out of my fight. So part of this fight camp is living vicariously through you. You know what I mean? So I mean, it feels good since I can't fight to at least be in your corner.
Yeah, live.
And I feel like I have to fight too, because I care if you win or lose, But win or lose, yeah, I respect you, man. I respect you a lot. I see how hard you work, and
that helps me with the mind state too. Thinking about, oh, who's gonna be in my corner? What gloves is it gonna be? The red or the blue? What are we gonna wear? things like that also amp me up for the fight too. Stupid little things. What music am I going to come out to? It helps with the mentality part of it. It helps you feel like you're coming out with an army, with a force. You know what I mean? Other than yourself.
You thought about the music yet? What you going in with?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was awkward.
Something
Yeah. It must be
hard.
good because he was already like on some anthem shit. He was about to break it through anthem.
Yeah. Goals. It's a good question because I ask myself all the time, and so do everybody else. What are you doing it for? How come you do it? I just do it for the love. I mean, it's soul food. It's something. It's why a guy writes a book that he's never going to publish, or draws a picture. It's not making any income. It's not doing anything for them financially, anything like that. But it's doing something for the soul. So as long as I feel happy doing this, I'm just going to keep pursuing it.
You know, there's new rules and regulation. A lot of people know fighting is legal now. MMA is legal in New York, which caused this whole spiral of events. So, long story short, the amateur circuit now has all these new regulations, as well as different, I guess, sports you could say. Like in MMA, you always needed a physical and blood work, but in kickboxing, you didn't need that stuff. So, a lot of the fighters find out at the last minute for the November 19th fights because of all these new laws that literally got put in place overnight that we needed physical as well as blood work as a kickboxer. So, you know, I went to get my physical. Didn't hear good things at all. Long story short, so the first thing that happened, which is the main problem, as you guys know, if you've been watching my show, you know I want to be a champion. You know, I just became a fighter, late stages in my life. I'm like the underdog, the guy, you know, going against the odds because of my back thing. You guys know, episode 1, episode 2, refer back to that if you don't know. But I had a major back surgery, and I got a plate and 4 screws. You know, I had 2 vertebrae transplanted, major 8.5 hour surgery. They stopped counting at like 1,000 stitches. I had a rib removed, my diaphragm detached, you know, cut in half, detached, reattached after, lungs deflated, a rib removed. They did all this because they had to make room to get to the parts of my spine that were affected. I had a herniated disc. The herniation was so big, it was in danger of rupturing my spinal cord and paralyzing me. So due to the surgery, I was bedridden for almost 3 years. I had a body cast for the next 2 years after that, and as well as I had to go to therapy. For 3 years, I literally couldn't move. You know, I had to be lifted up out of bed, turn this way, turn that way, whatever. You know, every hour I was in so much pain. I didn't sleep more than an hour or 2 in groups of patches. Terrible, terrible, terrible point in my life. I was told I'll never play sports again. I was told I'll be in chronic pain. You know, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. That was about 10, 12 years ago. Then I started martial arts after a couple years dealing with all that. I started martial arts 6 years ago. And I've always ignored my back scenario, you know, thinking to myself, trying to fool myself like, you know, I wasn't in any extra danger than any person is, you know, in fighting due to the natural, normal dangers. But because of my situation, I'm not just risking the normal injuries. I'm risking guaranteed, you know, being paralyzed. That plate and no screws, if they ever come apart, you know, break through the bone, detach, they could tear my spinal cord. And if they don't, that's worst case scenario. Best case scenario is it won't, but I'll need the same surgery again, and I'll be out again for, you know, 5, 6 years. So it's a lot to think about, man. It's a lot to chew, a lot to digest. On top of that, you know, the woman said she would clear me. Just made me aware of that. She even wrote on the physical that, you know, I would be fighting at my own risk. I was told the dangers and that decided to still fight. But then she listened to my chest. I was getting over being sick. I told that to her, but she wasn't happy with that. I don't know what she may have heard, but she ordered a chest x-ray. Then I found out I had to get blood work. Then I needed the other x-rays. So ultimately, I don't have insurance at the moment. I would have had to come up with a couple hundred to fight for free, you know? That coupled with this crazy burden and this news of, you know, me potentially going through the worst period of my life again, just really made me like change my thought process, change my views on this. Now, I'm not saying I'm not giving up. I want to be a champion so bad, I'm willing to risk risk it all, pretty much. I mean, you can't risk, death and paralyzation is the worst, And I'm willing to risk that, though, but I feel like for me to do that, I have to do it more carefully. I was willing to learn the hard way in that ring. If I get beat up, if I get knocked out, if I get knocked around, for 3 rounds, so be it. I learned the hard way, but I can't afford that with my state. So I'm putting fighting on hold. I'm postponing it. I want to get more lean. I want to get ripped. I want to get, lots of muscles on this core to protect. The wrong slam, the wrong body shot could end it all for me if that happens to my spine. So if I'm going to take a risk, I want to take a more calculated risk, So I had to pull out of my fight. Technically, I would have had to pull out of my fight just due to the fact that she wouldn't clear me unless I got those x-rays and the blood work. But it's also a conscious decision that, I've decided and now trying to live with. It was depressing. I had the ups and downs. I fought with it. But, I'm accepting it, because in all honesty, like, people say what they want. They can think what they want. I don't want to go through that again, So whoever wants to say I was scared, it's whatever. I'll prove myself once again. I'll get back in there. I even told the guy I pulled from that, if he wants to fight, I'll owe him that fight. He could be my first fight back, But I just need like 5-6 months, man, to get my shit together, get my body better, and also perfect my game more, get my offense tighter, my defense tighter. So when I do step into that cage, I'm like, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm ready to clean up. When I step in there again, it's going to be at a time I feel like I have the abilities to end fights quickly. Not learn the hard way, but be ready to go. So that's the tale I'm going to tell now is pretty much, I guess, my story of getting there. But, I'm not going to be able to give you these fights, that you guys want to see. You still get to see me training. I'm still going to show you my life. And there's going to be other people now I'm going to invest in more, as you're going to see in this episode. And when was it? August 20th, I cornered Tom Aliberti. He's an old friend of mine. We knew each other way back. In fact, he knew me during my back scenario. We was part of this rap group, we musicians. But we're not going to get into that stuff. But your boy got bars, just so you know. But anyway, we did that. We quit that. We drifted off, went our separate ways. And then we recently reunited. And he was a guy who did Kung Fu growing up, but didn't have a fight team, didn't have a steady place to train, who decided he wanted to fucking fight, And he seen I was fighting through social media, so he reached out to me, yo, how do you get fights? I introduced him to the fight promoter. He took it from there, asked the guy to give him a fight, got a fight, and then started training for a fight all by himself, So that's when I reached out to him, and I was like, listen, man, do you have a corner? If you don't, I would love to be your corner. I would love to help you train, show you some of the ropes, show you the things I've learned from my coaches, and just, help you out when I can. So with 2 or 3 weeks time, that's all we really had for that fight. I came up with a game plan, trained him on the game plan, and he executed the game plan perfectly. Like, honestly, that fight, it was so exciting to see everything fall into the right place, and I really hope we can recapture that again and recapture that feeling. Because when he won, I felt like I won. You know what I mean? It was an incredible feeling. I was happy for him, but also, too, I felt like I did my job. I came there to help this guy out and make his fight a little bit easier. And, it's something I have a passion for. I want to be a corner man. I want to coach. I want to train. That's why I do everything I've been doing. That's why I'm working towards this black belt status in the arts. This is why I always been helping the fight team, the fighters get ready. This is why I decided to jump in there and fight with them. Because this is my life, this is my passion. So it hurts me deeply that I have to risk being paralyzed in order to carry this out. So, I got to make a lot of changes. I'm a judokan, 6-year judokan. I'm 1 step away from black belt. I've competed in many tournaments, won, lost, and I can't even do that anymore. I wanted to get more medals. I plan to, after fighting, go back into judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu competitions, and now, I got to even consider that. So my life is really up in the air right now. Taking one day at a time. And so now the story we're going to tell you is where I go if I make it there, and also too the people I meet, the other people that are part of my journey, that are going through their own journey, such as Tom Aliberti, which he fights November 19th, same day as me. I wasn't going to corner him back when I was fighting because I had to focus on my fight. Now that I'm not fighting, I'm investing everything into this guy. And we were training for this certain dude. We were game planning for that. The guy had some things I felt like we could exploit. So we focused on that. And a week before the fights, that guy pulled out, I think, due to injury. And now we got a new guy who his guy pulled out. So they've been matched up together. And that guy looks a lot more formidable than the previous guy. So Tom was faced with that question of, you know, what to do, take the fight, not take the fight. He was a little stressed about it. He's going through a lot of things. And I decided to take the fight, man. He's a warrior. And so here we go. We're going to see what happens, man. You know, we switched the game plan. We switched the game plan as much as we could. And, yeah, man, we're ready to go, you know. We're working for this new guy, and we're going to see what's good, man. The other notable thing from November 19th is our co-host. As you guys know, I'm also one of the hosts of MMA Bug Podcast, which, check us out. One of the co-hosts, Alicia Diatris, been training with her since the beginning. I'm the guy to introduce her to it. I was like trained her a little bit in the beginning, and then she joined my team, and you know they took over. She's fighting for a title, so we're really excited about that. You know, we really want to bring that belt home to the team, see her earn her belt, get her prize for all hard work, and as well as bring a belt to MMA Bug Podcast. So she's gonna beat me to the belt, and then you know I'll catch up with her next year when I'm back in there. I'm definitely gonna bring you guys a belt one day. And yeah, man, we're gonna get this work. Team Believe MMA, MMA Bug Podcast, Jack Ham Promotions. Shout out to everybody.